I was sitting at the beach and I felt that God spoke to me and said that there's a small window of opportunity to make a musical about the story of Daniel. I had written music for an album that was distributed for free earlier in the year, and when I got that message at the beach, shared it with my wife, and the next day she came back to me and said, listen, why did you listen to the song God of Heaven, which I'd written on the album? Don't you think that's the song that Daniel sings in the lion's den? Personally, I wouldn't have known what Daniel in the age of 80 what would be going through his mind in the lion's den, but I could recognize it. And then it turned out that that wasn't the only song I'd written that was for a specific character in a specific situation at a specific point in time. A while later, after that, a lady called me out of the blue saying she had a vision about my music being performed in Israel. And then I just had this peace come over me that this is what I should do. So I started doing research about theaters in Israel. Found the beautiful Jerusalem theater, which is the only theater in Jerusalem that will be able to technically support or host a full-scale Broadway-style musical. And I got feedback from them saying that they got one day open. They have one day open in 2020. I just had this strong sense that I needed to stop replying to the email and fly to Israel, which is what I did. A friend and I flew to Israel. We pitched up on the Friday morning, and when Shabbat hit, the whole country shut down. The next morning, I cold called, literally went to the theater trying to get a meeting with them. They weren't sure why I'd flown all the way to Israel because they told me they don't have any space. So we went to the theater, and they were so gracious. They showed us the main theater even though it wasn't available. And I said to the lady, look, I need weeks. Days aren't going to help me. And she said to me, but that's never going to happen because we have weekly events that come back throughout the calendar every year. She said, maybe I can help you with a week in April 2021. So I just said to her, well, is there somewhere we can sit? And she was like, you can go to my office. And as we walk into office, she starts telling us about a renovation project they've got a building project at the theater. And as she's telling me this, I just have this voice saying, this is what I sent you for. This is your foot in the door. I said to the lady, look, just hypothetically, if I would be willing to take all the risk that your building project would finish by the end of September rather than the end of October, could I have October? Hypothetically. And she said, hypothetically, yes. And I just grabbed the yes and I ran with it. And once we finished the conversation and kind of looked at all the dates, the busiest time on the calendar in Israel, I showed her the poster that said Jerusalem Theatre, October 2019. And we came back and put together this huge machine. And 2 days ago, we signed a contract with the theatre to open on the 10th of October. So it's the Hebrew story of the story of Daniel, but the way we're telling it is in an African way. So even the costumes, we've gone into our cultures, into the Xhosa culture, into the Zulu culture, and we've taken those rich fabrics and the colorful soul of Africa and breathed it into that story. So it really is a celebration of what it is we have in common, and I couldn't be more excited about the way that it's come together. I mean, I have to pinch myself. We've got a world-class cast, and it's happening. When God says in Genesis 12 verse 3, those that bless Israel will be blessed, and those that curse Israel will be cursed, I take that seriously. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's about whether God's word is true or not. And in South Africa, we've taken a stance against the people of Israel, and I believe through that we've activated God's word against us. If we look at our country right now and everything that's going on, I think everyone can agree that we need the blessing of God. So even though this is just a bunch of artists that are so passionate about taking their craft to the people of Israel, I really believe that there's a very, very deep significance around this and the timing of it. So now the theatre also know that somehow this is not just a group of mad South Africans. This is more than a musical.